So I'll try to make this quick. I don't know, maybe I'll play some piano too. That's what I do. But there's this current precedent court, or in the courts, that is this is not an atypical situation, by the way. There's a Wikipedia page about the concept of distinction and lower courts, meaning anything below the Supreme Court, basically creating laws that aren't there. They're basically just inventing law, which is not what they're meant to interpret law, not invent it. So there's logical deduction and reasoning why an ISP removing third-party content per a user report is not the same action as a publisher removing content, period. The publisher and the ISP have different aims. They're not the same. So you got the publisher is the sort of creative hub of the content. The publisher decides what's going to go up, what's going to go down, and why. The ISP only is deciding, first of all, what will come down, but only because of specific statutes or applicable law, copyright law, hopefully, ideally, the C2, which is the Good Samaritan and Good Faith removal. But there you go. In C2, there's a Good Samaritan clause that accounts for removal of violating content by ISPs. Because that exists, it must be the case that the removal of third-party content cannot be equivalent, when done, cannot make you a publisher in and of itself. And therefore, you cannot claim to be a publisher when you fail to remove content that you promised to remove per your policies and terms and conditions and under applicable law and copyright law. So removing a publisher might remove an illegal piece of content or an infringing piece of content, but the fact of the matter is, in some instances, they're doing it on purpose. They're publishing illegal and violating content on purpose. So their removal, if they remove it, I mean, the set of motivations and impetuses are vastly different than the ISPs. There's no creative coordination between an ISP and a publisher on its service. There's no coordination there, meaning that their actions are not equivalent. That they don't occupy the same space. They don't have to abide the same standards, and their actions are not equivalent. And I mean, that's the gist of it. If you need to see a diagram, I mean, look, publisher, ISP. It's like YouTube as an ISP, internet service provider. Content. That's the flow. So ISP, publisher, content. Now the ISP is only there basically to supervise on some level. You would call it supervision. It is a type of supervision. It's their site. They do have some liability. That's why it's an LLC, a limited liability. But they do not coordinate. The publisher and the ISP do not coordinate with the content in terms of deciding on the content. So then if they don't coordinate on deciding on what content they're going to put up, then the removal of any content is not, it stems from different relationships, different impetus, and cannot be equated. And therefore, look, it's fairly clear that Google has basically they've litigated 230 in such a way as to sneakily get away with whatever they felt they wanted to get away with. And honestly, that's what's sick about it, is that it's like whatever they decide, not like, decency, ethics, law, none of that. It's whatever they think that if they don't think they're going to get in trouble, they won't do anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm telling you, because I've experienced some crazy shit on this platform. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Seriously, bro? Get the hell out, man. Like, this is like incessant. Look, I've live streamed for a decade, basically. I mean, for a long time. This didn't start until basically March of 2021, when a certain defendant, two defendants, decided that they were going to engage in a vendetta, which is, a crime. And now it's inescapable. And YouTube, and what they do, I mean, I guess I'm sensitive. I don't know. I don't know how to shut that off. But it's scary. Honestly, I mean, like, at this point, I feel like I'm the one that should be scaring them, because I'm not backing down. I'm scared. I don't like when I'm harassed. It is painful. I don't like it. I don't like it. Do I need to say that any clearer? It's not fun. It hurts. It hurts. It's jarring. But the whole point of YouTube and live streaming is to communicate with people. It's to sort of interact, just like chat rooms. It's sort of like, plus I'm not responsible for the conduct of the people in the chat. I don't even, honestly, I hope that all this is evidence. It is super painful to be harassed in your live chat and to not get to have that, and to just sort of, I won't accept that, because I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm not gonna just cede my live chat. I'm not gonna just cede that to freaks. I mean, I don't know, to like devil worshippers. But I do have to remember that all they know is fear tactics. That's all they know. So that's all they're gonna do from here on out. And it's good to know that. That's all they're gonna do. That's actually pretty smart. They're just gonna induce fear. They're gonna keep trying to make me afraid or doubtful of myself, scared that I'm gonna owe them money or anything like that. And I don't have to resist it, but I'm not to abide that. Basically, that's how I win. Because all they have, even Google's lawyer, honestly, all they've done is try to scare me. They haven't even mentioned, the matter or anything specific. They've said some gross stuff. I hope it's swift and strong, and I hope that people go to jail, and I hope that the victims that are currently being victimized are not victimized anymore, are provided with resources to talk about what happened, to recover from it, which is a process for sure, because these people are inducing trauma, and it's a very human, physical thing. But it's just shocking. I mean, It's not shock. I gotta stop being shocked. That's part of the fear. It's pretending that you're shocked. I mean, being shocked is gonna make you scared. Knowing you have to stand in the knowing, and not a lot of people supported this lawsuit, but it's going to win, I believe. I mean, it's going to win against the two defendants that are people, and then it will I think it's going to win against the corporation too. The corporation has just like literally like met their match. Basically, they have. Because they don't even have smart people that are representing them, by the way. It's not like they're geniuses. Trust me, they're not. They're not. I promise you, don't be afraid of a Google lawyer. They're not that fucking amazing. I mean, like, trust me, I haven't seen anything very special come out of it. It's sort of like, I don't know if they gave me a D-lister or whatever, but frankly, the conduct has been sort of unreasonable. There's been an unreasonable response to emails, an unreasonable demeanor, derision, tactics that are just disgusting, frankly, and indicative of the client that he's working for. I guess I just won't feel restful until I win this. It's just it's time. It's time. It's been long enough. I know that I'm not gonna move for a slow trial. So I would just say to Google's legal team, don't worry about a protracted battle. There's not going to be a protracted battle. It's going to be a very swift victory. Very swift. Taylor Swift, you might say. Like, it's going to happen so fast. You might as well start preparing right now for because what's going to happen is that 230 is going to be clarified without the dumb legislators in Congress. Because it's clear, it's just not clarified. There are people that lurk on this website, and they look for people to I don't even want to call it bullying because it's worse than that. Michael Thompson, your day in court's coming. Honestly, you deserve to go to jail. You deserve to be in prison, my friend. And I don't say that out of revenge or spite or anything, but you do. You deserve prison time for what you've done and what you're doing and what you continue to do. And you deserve to be investigated for what you might be doing. And Gregory Holmes, you do as well. Period. It's utterly concerning what is going on your page. If anybody is paying attention, and the board housewife, Carrie, you're honestly, all of it. All of it. It's very concerning. It's very unethical. And it's very concerning. And I don't care if you're like sad or I honestly, at this point, you've baked your own fucking cake. You've made your fucking bed. Lie in it. Lie in it. Welcome. This is what you've done to yourself. This is where you're at. You're all fucking fucked. I mean, you're going to have to go through a litigation process. Look, I'm aware that their attorney is probably, I don't know if he's watching or Michael will send him clips or whatever. Look, I can stand firmly before a jury and completely articulate everything that happened, why Google is liable, why Michael's liable, why Gregory is liable, and why other people are liable. Robbing Eagle song. I know these people think that they can abuse you or do things that are disgusting to you behind the scenes, and that if you bring their name up, then they're allowed to abuse you more. And I don't know where they got that notion from. It's not true. If somebody is saying that you're harassing them, you're supposed to kind of leave them alone until they don't feel harassed anymore. But I guess that was lost on a lot of you. Huh. And I don't know. Frankly, I'm curious as to know more about why. I want to know what happened. When I sued them on when they got the first, when their legal team saw the first amended complaint, how did they another distinction of publisher and ISP in terms of removing content. The ISP's duty is to react. The duty of the publisher is to act. Right? The ISP, the reason we have 230 is that they can only react to what's uploaded in order to provide us with a service that allows us to publish what we want on such a scale. But when they get information, certain information, they have a very clear duty based on their policies, terms and conditions, and Section 230, I think C2, and E1 and E2. In terms of those are liability, E1 and E2 is liability for copyright law and applicable law, which is, harassing people online is against applicable law. But copyright infringement is also against applicable law. And we're in California, and it's really, cyber stalking is a bad thing here. I honestly think Google is vicariously liable for a lot of this, but does it go beyond that? That's got to be answered. I mean, frankly, I'm not assuming it does, but it does seem that it wouldn't be a stupid thing to assume. The only reason I don't assume it is because it's like, I don't know. It's because I guess I don't know. I guess I have to find out. How did their legal team react when they looked at the Hollywood Laughingstock channel? Did they provide any reasonable inquiry into the report or the complaint? Any? No, they didn't. The answer is no. Why do I know that? Because of their response, which was, you need a court order. I mean, you guys are fucking fucked. It's so obvious. I want it out of me. I hate it. It feels like I'm possessed. It does. And I want it out. And that takes a legal remedy. It really does. I really understand that concept of legal remedy. I told YouTube I would settle with them for $50 million if they gave $40 million. I think I said this earlier. Give me 10 and then give 40 to some sort of nonprofit that prevents this from happening in the future. They need to do that. Period. Like that's got to be established, no matter what. I don't care if I get 50 million and then they have to do it on top of that or whatever. Frankly, there's no amount of money. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of money. You can't buy fucking years of my life like that. I don't know. No. There's no amount of money that really will remedy it. There's got to be a lot of a large amount of money, but then also there's got to be injunctive relief, and there's got to be high punitive damages. There's got to be high punitive damages. It's essential because it needs to be known that this is the punishment if you operate like this. And YouTube has, I think YouTube had, is it Google or YouTube had $30 billion in revenue in 2022? 30 billion. Okay. Well, guess what? Take $1 billion out of that. That's what it really should be, is the punishment. For the broad scale, maybe even 5 billion. If you look at it across how many different violations they probably ignored, I don't know. But mine was really bad. It was really bad and it was really ignored. It was really bad and really ignored. And I value myself enough to say that you could punitive damage them $500 million for what they did to me. And I would be, then I might be satisfied. There's no amount of money. I don't fucking care. What am I gonna buy? You can't buy fucking happiness, and you can't buy there's nothing. I don't fucking need anything. I don't want it that bad. It's just, it's like I can't trust shit again. This platform is trash, as the kids say. And like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to win. Because if I don't win, then I'll just go, no one will know about it. And that will be it. That will be it. No, if I do win though, even if YouTube successfully, actually, YouTube can't get off on 230 immunity until judgment is rendered on Michael and Gregory, because there's a substantial link in the illegalities and liabilities there, where it can't be determined whether YouTube is immune until it's been determined whether or not the other two are liable. Because if the other two are liable, it makes it a lot more likely that they committed applicable law violations or copyright law violations. If they did those things and YouTube knew about it, which they did, and didn't do anything, then that's when they incur their liability. That's just the facts. This is the facts. It's the facts. There's not really, I don't see much of an argument there. I don't know if it's been argued this way. The case law is very weak. It's very weak. YouTube's use of case law was terrible. He put 52 case law examples, citations, in a 25 or so page document. That's an excessive amount of case law. A lot of it did not even iterate the same circumstances almost by any means. The closest thing I found was Barnes versus Yahoo, which, guess what? Yahoo was held liable under promissory estoppel. Now, they told her that a person said, we'll take it down. This was in 2009. The internet's vastly different now. YouTube can't just avoid that promissory estoppel by not saying anything or just saying, we need a court order. That's unacceptable. You have to do the right thing. As a corporation, that's when you incur liability, is when you do the wrong thing, and you have a reasonable duty to understand that it was the wrong thing to do. And I don't see how it's possible that they didn't. Honestly, the thing that really sucks is, honestly, their lawyer. It really makes me ill. It makes me ill because their lawyer is demeaning me while covering up what is a cyber stalking outfit. I'm never going to forget that. I believe that he's violated Rule 11. I believe that their legal representation has violated Rule 11 because of the lack of reasonable inquiry into any of the subject matter and the obfuscation, utter obfuscation. It's sickening. I mean, it's vile. It's just vile. That's all. Let's see what Freaks commented. Hey, Lucifer, the case wasn't thrown out. Learn to read.